Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a 25 TP, it's a tier 5 Polish medium tank, and this one's located on the south spawn, or is it north spawn? It's the north spawn of Halluf, and it's under the command of SlyMeerkat of Philo. And this replay is a double header. We've got the view of the replay from two different tanks in the battle, both on the same side. And they both know each other. Well, we're moving down towards the northeast corner for the confrontation, and Sly's taking the lead. Oh, somebody who sideswiped there. Now, what can I tell you about 25 TP? Well, it's got a 75mm gun. It does 135mm penetration, 135 alpha. So it's actually quite strong, and in fact the turret is quite narrow, difficult to hit, and if it can go head down, or hull down I should say, then it can get a lot of damage on the enemy without the enemy being able to return fire. Okay, and we can see our two contestants here together, Panzerpenguin and SlyMeerkat. He gets a shot in first and gets a hit on that Wizzy-131 GFT, the Chinese tank destroyer. We've got a T-34 in the dip, 14 TP around the corner. In fact, there's two at 14 TPs, and a KV-1S, the Soviet tier 5 heavy. Now this is a tier 6 game. Oh, he accidentally got hit in the tracks there by Panzerpenguin. Oops, he hit his own teammate. Panzerpenguin's using that auto cannon. Gets a good hit there in the T-34, and Panzerpenguin's gone into the dip. And they're getting strikes on the T-34. I think that was Panzerpenguin who got the kill there. Yep, it was him. And he's pulled back because he got hit by the AMX-13 F3. It was only a splash hit for 57, but it was enough to do some damage. Okay, pulled back a bit. This is Panzer 3J up there. Oh, got a good hit there, 141, but I think that hit was actually on Panzerpenguin. Yes, by mistake. And he's reduced Panzerpenguin to virtually no hit points. He got a hit on the KV-1S though, over 115. I don't think he really meant to hit Panzerpenguin, he just got in the way as he was trying to get at that KV-1S. The KV-1S has gone around the corner. This is an encounter-based game, by the way, so obviously to those who've actually spotted, because the enemy is capping at this moment, but it's a long cap for an encounter. Much longer than normal. Going for the KV-1S, and yeah, gets a good round through the tracks. 138 on that one. Can he get a shot in without getting hit by the 14 TP? Well, the 14 TP pulled back because he didn't want to get hit by the 25 TP's gun. And I think we're going to try and sneak around the corner, get a shot on the KV-1S, and oh! Just managed to squeeze in a shot and avoid hitting the T-28E with the F-30 gun. Gets a kill shot on the 14 TP. Pulls back. Now the T-28E with the F-30 has got an 85mm gun, so it's actually quite a potent killer. Obviously though, it is a T-28 with turns like a pig. It really is terrible to turn. Not very good to maneuver, but that 85mm gun is absolutely lethal. Now, coming down to this corner, can he get at the tanks that are capping? Well, it's a 14 TP down there, and there he is. Yep, gets a kill shot. That's his third kill. Now, Panzerpenguin, surprisingly enough, is still in the game. He's just around the corner. And it looks like the enemy has managed to clean out our reserves, our rear guard. And we're now in a position whereby we have control of the cap area, but the enemy has control of both spawn points. And, well, the scores are fairly even. There's only one tank in it. get a shot. Oh, there's a leopard getting close to him. And he puts a shot into the Covenant 2. He goes down. There's the leopard. It's a big worry. Now, is he going to be able to get this leopard? He is a bit of a novice or a noob. So I wonder, will he be able to get him? He's using the half centimeter. No. Well, he gets him. 85 hit points. I was wondering for a second if he was using the 3 centimeter gun or the 5 centimeter gun. I think it was the 5 centimeter he was using. But unfortunately, SlyMeerkat's lost his commander at the moment. I don't think he's noticed it though. He has got a first aid kit, so he could put him back into operation. And it's surprising actually, because that last shot was quite good. Of course, the commander doesn't actually fire the gun. That's the gunner, but the commander actually finds the targets, and he also sometimes acts as the radio operator. Okay, there's a 5916. Still hasn't noticed that his commander's down. Oh, gets one hit. 129. That's a low roll. Can he go for another? Oh, he's finally noticed and got his commander in. He rams the 5916 and then takes him out with a shot to the rear. Just shows how powerful this gun can be. It's only 75mm, but it does do a lot of damage for a 75mm. Okay, there are now. It's just SlyMeerkat versus the 2 mediums and an Arty. And the 2 mediums are a T-34 and an M3 Lee, and the Arty is the AMX-13 F3. We lost panzerpenguin a little while back. I didn't notice it at the time. I think we were so focused on what SlyMeerkat was doing. And he's hovering in this corner, and I think he's hoping that the enemy will come to try and get him. And then he can take them out on from a hull-down position. Either that, or he's hoping that they're going to cap. And then he can take them out whilst they're in the cap. There's the T-34, and he's a one-shot, and he's gone. 39 hit points. No, it's 1 versus 2 now. And that was his top gun, by the way. He's got 6 kills now. Can he make it a Radley's? Well, the potential's there. All he needs is these last 2 kills. Oh, the M3 Lee's been spotted, and he's there. He's just ahead of us. Oh, you're not paying attention. Come on. That's it. He got him in the tracks. Oh, got another bad hit from that 75mm on the M3. Goes behind him. He is basically a tank destroyer with that side gun. And 1 shot into the rear. Finishes off the M3 Lee. Now it's just the AMX-13 F3, but he's only down to 11% of his health. He's only got 50 hit points left, and he lost this loader, and he's put the loader back in. Now he's loaded HE for this next shot, and the reason for that is obvious, that Arty do have thin skins, so if you hit them with an HE round, it's definitely going to penetrate, and it's going to do a lot of damage. HE does far more damage than APCR or AP, so if you're going to go up against a lightly skinned vehicle, HE is the preference. He comes around the corner, nobody there, nobody's come to the cap yet. Well, he's going to cap and force the AMX-13 F3 to come, and the reason he'll need to do that is because the encounter cap takes 3.5 minutes. Slightly more than 3.5 minutes actually. So he's got a long time to wait, and he needs to ensure that he doesn't get hit by the AMX-13 F3 in the meanwhile. Of course, the AMX-13 F3 has got a shorter view range, so he's not really going to want to approach the cap if he can help it. So he's probably going to try firing in at random and hit all the most likely places that the 25 TP is going to be sitting, hoping that the 25 TP is silly enough to be in one of those obvious spots. And one of those obvious spots is actually down there on that corner. And so we'll just have to wait and see what the AMX-13 F3 decides to do. Is he going to shoot, or is he going to come down to the cap? He's got plenty of time to make up his mind. In fact, given that the firing of that, the loading of that AMX-13, the 155mm gun, takes 26 seconds. Yes, he did try to shoot, and he's fired his first round in. It takes 26 seconds to fire, so every 26 seconds there should be another round coming in to the cap. And he'll keep trying to fire in different places, hoping he'll spot the 25 TP or hit the 25 TP by a near miss. And if he can get a near miss, a splash, then he can reset the clock, and that makes sure that SlyMeerkat cannot cap out. Eventually, though, he's going to have to make up his mind and come down to the cap and try and stop the cap by shooting SlyMeerkat directly. Right, well, he's halfway through the cap now. 50 points already collected. 2 minutes still to go. It's not 3 minutes 30 seconds, actually. It is over 4 minutes to actually cap out on an encounter with just one tank. But a near miss might actually even take out... Oh, there he is. He's decided to come down, and he has spotted SlyMeerkat. So now he's in a difficult position because the AMX-13 F3 cannot easily shotgun somebody, A, who's aware of his presence, and SlyMeerkat came out the cap there, so he has to kill the enemy now to ensure a victory. He cannot cap out to win. But the AMX can effectively block SlyMeerkat from coming over the top, because remember, SlyMeerkat's only got 50 hit points left. So even a splash will be enough to wipe him out. But the problem is the AMX has to bring his gun to bear on SlyMeerkat, and of course in the process of doing that he can get shot. So SlyMeerkat's got to try and get the AMX in a position where he can't bring his gun to bear, and that way, yep, he's round the corner, and I think he's made the fatal mistake. SlyMeerkat gets behind him, and that's it, it's all over. That's it, beautiful. Did it exactly right. Make sure that the enemy is not facing your way, and then you can shoot him in the ass. And he did precisely that. So let's have a look at the end of battle results. And it's an ace tanker for SlyMeerkat of Philo in the 25 TP. He also picked up a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, crew incapacitations or module damage. In fact, he got 7. He got a duelist medal for taking down 2 tanks that did damage to him during the battle. I think you could probably say that that was the T-34 and the M3 Lee. Possibly actually some of the others as well. I think the AMX-13 F3 actually damaged him during the battle as well. And he got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle. But best of all, he did pick up a Radley Walters medal. He managed to get 8 kills, and he also managed to get 6 kills, which obviously meant that he got a top gun. And now we're going to see the replay. Let's have a look at the team scores first, actually. Be a help. We can see that SlyMeerkat managed to get the highest damage overall. For some reason, he didn't pick up a high caliber, and that may be because he didn't have 20% of the enemy hit points in total. 2,205 hit points. I would have thought that would have been enough for a high caliber, but maybe it's just not, and it wasn't awarded in this case. So the next highest scorer was the 5916, which actually he took out 1,200 hit points, and then the AMX-13 F3 he managed 1,133. When it came to kills, obviously it was SlyMeerkat who got the highest amount, 8. 4 times the highest score, or next highest scorers, the T28E with the F30 gun and the M44 on his own team, and more than double the highest score of the enemy team, which is the AMX-13 F3, who managed 3 kills during the battle, the 5916 who got 2, and the 1602 Leopard who got 2 as well. So let's have a look at detail report. Well, Sly fired 24 rounds, got 20 direct hits, 19 penetration. Very good penetration on that gun. He did fluff a few shots, but some of them actually were accidentally where he actually shot panzerpenguin by mistake. trying to go for that KV-1S. I'm sure that wasn't aimed at Panzer Penguin. Damage of 2,205 hit points, all at closer than 300 meters. He received 4 hits from the enemy. 3 were penetrations. 1 was a non-penetration. Probably the most devastating one was that M3 Lee towards the end, because he managed to pump in enough damage to actually put SlyMeerkat at risk of being splash killed by the AMX-13F3. He also received 2 hits as a result of splash damage from the AMX-13F3 and block damage of 115 hit points. He actually damaged Panzer Penguin to the tune of 141 hit points. Most of Panzer Penguin's health disappeared, and he spotted 1 enemy vehicle, the AMX, damaged 11 of the enemy, more than 2/3 of the enemy team, and killed 8 of the enemy, more than half of their team, and did damage assistance of 21 hit points. He also managed to get 4 capture points right at the end when he killed the AMX, just after he killed the AMX. On a premium count, he earned 41,886 credits, and after being fined for damaging Panzer Penguin, 972 credits, and receiving compensation from Panzer Penguin for 187 credits for Panzer Penguin shooting him in the tracks, the total came to 41,102, and after repair, ammunition resupply and consumables, he had a total of 20,673 credits left over to take away. He received 2,031 XP, -2 for the damage that he actually did with Panzer Penguin, ×2 for the first victory of the day, and he also had a personal reserves bonus for 100% going there, so he took away 6,087 experience points altogether. So that's the result for SlyMeerkat. Very nice for Radley Waters there. But now we're going to see the same battle through the eyes of Panzer Penguin. If I can get the right screen up, it certainly does help. I didn't have it set up correctly at the start, and so obviously we'll just run that replay straight away, and then you'll see it, what it looked like from Panzer Penguin's view. And we'll shoot straight ahead to the start point, because obviously we don't want to sit around waiting. What I can say about the Covenanter, well, there's one of those at Bovingdon actually. It's a tier 4 British light tank with an automatic cannon as its main armament. Quite a nice little light tank actually, quite good fun, but once you press the trigger to fire the rounds off, they go off 2 at a time, and I'll just shoot straight forward to the start. And of course we've got Panzer Penguin in there. Panzer Penguin from my clan actually. Or at least he was in my clan. I'm not sure if he's actually left to go to a different clan now. Oh! I think he's firing that gun because he knows he's in the same battle as SlyMeerkat. And I'm sure they know each other. Well, he's accompanying SlyMeerkat to the northeast corner, and at this point he gets a slight tap from that T-37, not very friendly there. Lost some hit points there. I think that T-37's playing very friendly. Well, Panzer Penguin's going down to the cap area to have a quick look, and you can bypass the rocks. A bit dangerous to go around this corner because you might get hit by the enemy if they're overlooking this area. Well, he joins SlyMeerkat again, and we're coming up to this ridgeline confrontation. And of course, he accidentally shoots Sly in the tracks, and we'll see exactly why that happened. Well, he fires in around there at the WZ131GFT. Pulls up, he can see the enemy ahead of us. T-34 in the gap. KV-1S and the 14TP around the corner. And he's looking at Sly at the moment, but no, he's looking for that 14TP, and he takes a round. Oh, that's when it happened. He accidentally hit Sly as Sly moved forward to engage the 14TP. And he's gone in for the T-34 into the gap. He managed to get a round into the T-34 for 131. And fires those rounds off and gets the T-34. Now it's around about this point he pops up, he looking to get around on the 14 TP, gets 3 rounds into him for 140. And there's a Panzer 3J just around the corner. Oh, he just took a round from Sly. I think that one went right into the rear. Yeah, he wasn't happy about that. Yeah, it went into the rear of the turret. He's down to 23 hit points now. It was purely accidental. It wasn't intentional. There wasn't any malicious action there. They just happened to be moving ahead, and the others moved into the other's line of sight at the time. And they both did it to each other, so it wasn't intentional to do it. We've got a 14 TP in the cap area. He's backing up to see if he can get a shot in. That 14 TP is in the way. The 14 TP is blocking him from getting at that enemy. The T-34 is a wreck in the way, but he's unlocked on that target, leaving the 14 TP to deal with it. And he's going to try and deal with this 14 TP. Oh, you can see where his rounds hit the turret of that 14 TP. Went straight through. He's only on 24 hit points as well, that 14 TP. Going to try and get around the corner. Can he get a corner on that 14 TP? Well, there he is. Yes, he can. Oh, but no, he fires over the top, fires 2 rounds. He's reloading. 5.16 seconds is what it takes to reload 4 shells. But you can fire them off very, very quickly. 0.4 per second per each shell. And it looks like that 14 TP was taken out by the one in the cap. He's trying to line up a shot. He's auto-aimed, and just as he fires, the wreck in front of him moves because the T-34 and our team pushes into it to use it as a shield, so he misses his chance to take out the 14 TP in the cap. But that 14 TP has been taken out, and he was taken out by SlyMeerkat, I think. But now panzerpenguin's looking towards that Leopard, the one that's coming up on this area. And he's down to 6% of his health, so he needs to be concerned. That Leopard's got quite a nasty little gun. If it is the 5cm, and I'm pretty sure it is a 5cm gun, then it's got good, decent penetration. We can't see the Leopard, but he's waiting for him to turn up. He's going to try and put 4 rounds into him, but I think panzerpenguin thinks the Leopard is coming up the other way. Yes, he is! And he's auto-aimed onto him, goes around the corner, he gets 1 round into him for 48 hit points. And he's reloaded, and the Leopard's coming in. Ow! It was the murder cannon, the 3cm gun. Yeah, he was using the murder cannon, and he's taken out by the 3cm. And now we switch to SlyMeerkat. Now we've gone back to the wreck. He's flicking between the various tanks. Okay, now he's got on Sly. And Sly takes out that Leopard. At this moment, I think Sly was trying to decide which way he's going to go first. Now he knows that there's a 5916 somewhere. There's a T-34 been seen to the south. Our T-34 is heading south to look for him. Sly's coming up to look for the 5916. Now at this moment, this was the time when Sly was actually missing his commander. And the 5916's coming up behind him, and yep, we're not seeing it because we've got the other view. And there's the 5916, puts 1 round into him. Puts his commander back in, and after he realises the situation, he rams the 5916, tracking him, pulls around the corner and empties his round into the rear, so he wins that duel. Right, we've got a T-34 and the M3 Lee off to the south. So Sly's backing away from them. It's just Sly versus the 3 at this point, if you remember. I think he was trying to decide which way round he was going to go, or how he was going to engage them. I think he wanted to go hull down and try and attack them that way. Because of course the turret, as I said before, the turret of the 25 TP He's very narrow, very difficult to hit. There's the T-34, takes him out one shot. And panzerpenguin says, "You have this, Sly." Smiley face. I think he got distracted at this point. He was looking the wrong way. The M3 Lee could see him. Fires one round in for 104. Hits him with another round for 105, and that's where he lost most of his hit points. He was hit and stunned by the enemy Arty, but he puts one round into the rear of the M3 Lee, and he's out the game. So yes, and then the commander was out of action again. And of course he stayed here so that the AMX-13F3 wouldn't see which way he was going to go after he left the M3 Lee wreck. Now Sly could have gone hunting the AMX-13F3, but if he'd actually done that, there's a good chance that he might have been ambushed by the AMX-13F3 and killed. In fact, that may be the reason why the AMX-13F3 did not start immediately firing into the cap. He was setting up an ambush, getting ready to shoot Sly with a shotgun, and instead Sly went into the cap area, and the AMX had to make up his mind what he was going to do. In fact, from the direction the AMX-13F3 came from, and knocking down that tree, it probably actually helped to persuade the AMX that Sly had actually gone, or was in the cap, hiding in one of the bushes. But what he didn't realise was he was up here looking out, looking for him. And of course the AMX came from the north, so it suggests to me that the AMX actually travelled north, going into the enemy spawn point area, or our spawn point area, and then decided to come back down to the cap from the north, or I should say actually heading west to the cap, because actually the area that he was coming from was over here. And of course we're watching and waiting for that Arty round to come in to indicate exactly what the Arty player was thinking, where he was aiming at. Yeah, there it was. So he was aiming in the usual position that you'd expect somebody to be hiding, on that that side of the map and that corner. I would have thought that he would have fired more rounds into the cap before it got too late, because he had plenty of chances to fire in and get at least a splash hit on SlyMeerkat and spoil any chance that he could cap out. Then that would force SlyMeerkat to come looking for him, and he could set up an ambush. But it got to the point where he had to come down, and it's unfortunate that Sly was in a position where he could be seen immediately by the AMX. He still hasn't put his commander back in. In fact, actually, he could not only put his commander back in, he can actually repair his track as well. So he pulls back down the other side, and the AMX has to come in and try and get him. But of course, the AMX is very wary of allowing Sly to get a shot on him. And the AMX-13F3 is actually quite a fast little Arty. It's a very light one. And of course, he turns to face Sly to prevent Sly from coming over the top of the rock directly on top of him, and that forces Sly to come down the other side. And Sly tries to sell him a dummy here, going down the other corner to make the AMX-13F3 think that he's actually staying in the bushes around the other side on the flat. Now, of course, they're out of contact, so he doesn't know now where Sly is. He only thinks that Sly's down in those bushes. Sly comes up over the top. The AMX-13's gone around on the flat. There he is. Comes down behind him. AMX tries to turn. It's too late. Sly's behind him. And, yep. That's it. All over. Beautifully done. Made the enemy commit. And it was all over. So, let's have a look at the end of battle results for Panzerpenguin. Well, Panzerpenguin, he didn't get any awards as second-class tanker, a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, bruised the medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, he got 6 in total, and a win rate of 2890. If we look at team score, we can see he actually came 5th on damage, 566. When it comes to kills, he managed to come joint 3rd with 1 kill on his own team. When it came to base XP, he was 2nd with 588. Of course, Sly was top with 1354. So, detail report. Well, Panzerpenguin fired 39 rounds during that battle. He got 22 direct hits, 12 penetrations. If you've actually got the gun on the target, it can pump in a lot of shells very, very quickly into the enemy, do a lot of damage. Just as you saw with that 14 TP. He peppered that 14 TP's turret with shots. He did damage of 566 hit points, all at closer than 300 meters. He received 4 hits, 3 penetrations, 1 non-penetration, and he also blocked damage of 75 hit points. That was damage that went into the tracks. He spotted 2 enemy vehicles, damaged 4 of the enemy, killed 1 of them, and did damage assistance of 164 hit points. On a standard account, he earned 12,320 credits, and he was fined 139 credits for firing into SlyMeerkat's tracks by accident, but that was because SlyMeerkat drove forward through his field of fire just as he was unloading on that T-34. And he received compensation from SlyMeerkat for 614 credits because SlyMeerkat accidentally shot him when he was trying to get the KV-1S. So the total amount came to 12,795 credits, and after repair and ammunition resupply, he took away 5,327 credits. He received 588 XP, times 2 for the first victory, so he took away 1,176 experience points altogether. So, yes, he said, seen a good player. Well, SlyMeerkat is a good player, that's for true. And if you have a chance, watch the Kolobanov medal awarded to SlyMeerkat in his 25 TP recently. The video is up on our channel, and actually if you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.